Welcome back to Garage Bar Banter, Episode 3. We made it to Episode 3, and we want to say thank you to all of our followers and everyone that's kind of joined and commented. And this is our first live. We are super excited for this, and we hope you guys will join us and let us know how we're doing. Give us some feedback, ask us some questions. What do you think, Ron? How you feeling?
I am feeling fantastic. I am super excited about this whole thing. Little kinks here. For some reason, we're all sideways on my screen, but that's okay.
While Ron's figuring out the iPad situation here, like I said, it's our first one live. Let me introduce our first guest here, Braden. Thank you for joining us, Braden.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Dude, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome
Excited to be here.
aboard.
I feel a lot of pressure being the first guest.
We're learning as we go, and it's been fantastic. It really is.
That's awesome.
A lot of laughs, and like I said, we appreciate you being here and
Absolutely.
going through this first episode with us being live.
Of course. Appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cloudy. Come to you from our amazing studio here in Wonder Lake.
Wonder Lake, Illinois.
Our fantastic studio. Guys, we got some new Funkos today. We got some Matt Foley action because it's Matt Foley. Ted Lasso. We got some Andy Dwyer. He's kind of a weird guy now, but Andy Dwyer. And for no reason whatsoever, we got Geppetto, guys.
Geppetto. You know, I gotta say though, if you actually look at Geppetto,
Yes.
and then we all look at you, you're kind of turning into him slowly.
That's not
that
funny.
gray beard. It's just a beard. It's the beard. I'm not saying you're
I see.
looking like him, but the beard.
gotcha.
Your beard's getting gray.
It is.
That's all. That's all.
It is. I'm gonna try to let it grow all the way out this year.
Let's do it.
It's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna give it a
I
shot.
feel like the outcast with no beard.
Right, dude.
I just got this.
Grow yours
Just
too.
rocking the goat.
We'll do it. We're gonna grow a beard together. We're just
I
gonna
like
grow
it.
it down.
I like it.
The wives are not gonna be happy, but you know, it is what it is.
Absolutely. So, who wants to get to know
Welcome,
Braden?
Sebastian, our number one, dude. Look at this guy.
What's going
Yeah,
on, Sebastian?
Seabass.
Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Good old Seabass.
Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we have any questions that were sent in to us?
We
I
do.
thought I
We
saw
have a couple of questions we're gonna ask.
And we had a little fun with that last week, didn't we?
We did,
It was
did.
great.
So one of the big questions that came in this week, Rich, and thanks for bringing that up, is
Absolutely.
how many times have you burned down your house?
Oh my God. I have to say 0. I've never done that.
I'm gonna have to mirror that. Braden, what about you, man? How many house burnings are we going with for you?
Boy, it's funny that you say that because just so happens that I have done that. Yes, I have done that. Burning your house down is it's an interesting experience. So,
If you can't, would you mind like kind of bringing us through
That came out of my nose. Good job, Braden.
how this was for
I-
you? What it did for you here?
I would be happy to, and Ron probably has some fun memories from this as well because he was very helpful during this.
Well, I
whole thing.
appreciate that, but
Yes, he
my
was.
favorite part of this story is the night before. Like, we
Yes.
had a great party the night before. You did, actually. I was
Great
just a
party.
guest, but we had a great party.
Great party, and surprisingly, that didn't burn the house down, which is a miracle.
Way
So,
too many people. We had so many things going on.
It was insane.
And it went off without a hitch. It was perfect. It
It
was a
did.
great night.
the way a
Yes.
party should. The
Yes.
way a party should.
We were celebrating my son's birthday.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was
and
fun.
he had way too many people over. It was supposed to be 10, and it was probably 100 or something that ended up
was.
coming over. And again, surprisingly, that didn't burn the house down. That was fine. Everybody was good.
Yeah.
Had a great time. We had people out in the driveway. The adults were out in the driveway having a fire in the little fire pit. And again, had a great time, right? Got up the next day and might have been a little fuzzy-headed, I
All
would
right.
say.
Understandable.
Right? So
Sure,
maybe
sure.
my decision-making process wasn't perfect. But
It comes with a good party though.
yeah,
Good party.
exactly. So surprisingly, I was actually trying to prevent a fire. How this happened? And
All right.
it ended up not going that way. But the next day, again, this was in November. It was a very unseasonably warm day. It was
I
like
remember
60 or
we were
something.
there in like shorts
Yes,
that day.
it was unbelievable.
We were getting ready to watch the Notre Dame game.
Yep, exactly. So the next day it was beautiful. I think the Bears were, I don't know if they were playing that day or they might have been off, but I just wanted to watch football, right? So I went outside. I was cleaning up a little bit from the party
Sure,
the
sure.
night before, and it was super windy. So I walked outside, and the fire pit was, ashes are blowing all over the place.
I remember.
And so I remember thinking, like, well, this could start a fire. I better do something
Yeah,
with
right,
this.
right.
So why I didn't just get a hose and or a bucket of water and dump it on it and let it sit, that would have been the much smarter thing to do. But sometimes I don't make the best decisions, and this day was definitely one of those. So for some reason, I decided to say, well, hey, let me go. I reached in and it felt a little warm, but nothing bad, just the ashes or whatever else.
Sure.
I decided to go dump it into the garbage cans on the side of the house. Why I did this, I have no idea. Well, funny story. After all of this, after the dust settled, my son reminded me that on the garbage can it says, "Do not dump hot ashes in the garbage can."
Sure.
So clearly, I didn't read that.
Right.
So I went and dumped the ashes in the garbage can and didn't think anything about it. Dumped it in there. Went about my business, and I was getting ready to take my daughter to her driver's ed class. So we were getting ready to leave. My son was going to go upstairs and go to sleep. Thank God he didn't, because he wanted to go sleep because he was up all night with his buddies and everybody with the party. So all of a sudden, about 20 minutes later, he came running outside. "Dad, the house is on fire." I'm like, "What do you mean a house on fire?" Walked around the side of the house. The entire freaking house was up in flames.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Jeez.
beyond the point of like a fire extinguisher. I mean, it was completely up in flames.
Sure.
And
Oh, your neighbor
terrifying.
too. Your neighbor too.
Oh, yeah, it was a 2-for-1 special. Yeah. 2-for-1 special. So not only did I burn down my house, I burned down the neighbor's house. Not down, but completely gave a nice scalding to the entire side of his house, burned down his fence, all of his trees.
Sure.
All the landscaping, burned everything up, burned down my fence. It blew across, and it was so windy that day, it blew all the way to the back of the property and blew out the back neighbor's fence as well. The other neighbors behind us. But anyway, so that was what went down. It seemed like it took an hour for the fire department to get there, which it didn't. They actually were there pretty quick.
Sure.
But in that moment, it feels like it felt
Absolutely.
like forever.
Once it catches, it just kind of continues.
You know,
So sure.
And again, it was definitely terrifying watching everything burn up. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was just stuff. You know, we were very fortunate.
Right.
We were very blessed. I mean, nobody was hurt in it other than my pride. I'll never win an argument ever again.
That was going to be
No
my
matter
follow-up.
what
So,
I do.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, house fires are not funny. It's a traumatic
No.
experience. I was there with you guys a lot, and I can't imagine what you guys were going through. And it's horrible. But now that everything is passed, and it's been well over a year,
Yes.
everything's passed, and everybody's moved back in. Everyone's safe, happy, healthy.
sure,
Everybody's
yep.
good. Now we can laugh at some
Absolutely.
bad decisions.
Yeah, now you laugh about it,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. It's always a great icebreaker, by the way. Like, you know, like if you go to a party or something. Like,
Hey,
you
I'm
know,
Braden.
so-
I burned my house down. How are you?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And everybody's like, what?
But see, now there's some things
Tell
that-
us a fun fact about yourself that nobody would know. Like,
Yeah,
you know, if you're-
sure.
But see, now,
Sure, I burned my
now
house down.
it takes some pressure off you, though, now, right? Because now
Yeah.
you're not allowed to cook, right? There's no cooking. There's
Ever.
nothing with fire.
Nope.
You're not allowed to have
I'm good at
fire
starting
pit
fires,
anymore.
though.
You are.
I am.
Well, when you come to my house, you started the fire pit for me in the yard, and everybody was like, they had that like
Exactly.
anxious-
Like,
they kept looking at me. They're like, "Hey, I know everyone's been having a few beers, but like, is it okay that Braden's starting the fire pit?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, it is, because Braden is starting the fire pit 30 feet from the house on concrete."
I can't remember who said it, but
Exactly.
someone actually told you. Like, didn't
Yeah, everyone's
You're
like,
gonna
"Didn't
start a
Braden
fire
just
at your
burn
house?"
his house down, and now he's going to burn yours down?" I'm like, "No, he's probably going to."
But that's when you told me. I gave him an empty Zippo. It's empty.
Yeah, just let them keep trying.
It's a picture of fire is what we put in there for him, and we just keep feeding him Coors Lights. He's
It's like one of those fake
Exactly.
candles. You just flip the switch and it
Yeah.
goes on.
Yeah.
So I would say the silver lining from the whole thing, like you said, is I don't have to do much cooking
Yeah.
in the house because of that. The bad news is, like I said, I never win an argument because everything's like,
I can imagine everything that you say is going to be like, "Braden, I don't want this." "Well, I want this," and it's a typical husband-wife back and forth, and
Yep.
then, you know, she'll just break it out of, "Well, the last time you made a decision, you burned
Yeah.
our house down." So
Yeah.
that's it. Like, you lose every argument forever going forward.
everything.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, like, how did you did this, or we're fighting about something. Well, you burned the house down. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, the
there's
good
no.
news is
Yeah.
I've never burned
Yeah.
our house down, and I lose every argument too. So you're not
Yeah.
alone in this.
No. All right. Well, that's good to know.
I'm gonna absolutely agree with you with that.
Yeah.
I've never burned the house down, but whatever the wife says, you just
Yeah,
you
that's
go with
pretty
you
much
roll.
what it is.
Everyone's happy.
It
that
is a terrifying experience.
But if you
man.
really think about it, their ideas really aren't bad. We're
No.
just stubborn. We're fucking stubborn, man.
Oh, we're a
stubborn.
bunch of fucking stuff.
Not a bad thing.
No.
Keeps excitement in a relationship.
Absolutely, it does.
It does. It keeps things interesting. Things are always interesting in my household. There's always
Yes.
some sort of calamity going on, something interesting.
Yes, yes.
I like to keep it interesting.
What's the most recent interesting thing that you would say has happened, Braden? What's the most
Oh my
kind of
God.
thing that you kind of have going on?
How long does this podcast go?
It can go as long as we want it to, forever.
Well, let's see. So after the fire, I decided to. Well, gee, you were involved with a few these things, weren't you?
Yeah, I am definitely an instigator for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you've been very helpful in helping me correct.
Well, I definitely
after
feel
all of these
that. I
things
mean,
have happened.
getting on board with with your ideas is fun.
Yeah.
Because in our head, like the way you explain them, you're like, this is going to be the greatest thing that's really ever happened. And I'm like, I need to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And then usually about 10 minutes into it, we both look at each other and go, neither one of us will admit we shouldn't fucking do this.
Yeah.
So then we just kind of power through it, and it usually ends badly.
Yes.
Like, I can't think of one thing that you and I have done so far together that has ended on a positive note.
Let me say
just
this.
keep trying.
Let me
We
say
just
this.
keep trying.
While you're thinking about a story to tell, something recent,
Yeah.
something recent, I'm going to say this for both Ron and I.
Yeah.
Please, yes.
Um,
yes.
We decided to take the girls out for Valentine's Day together this year. Let's go out as a couple.
Oh,
Let's
nice,
go hang
okay.
out. Let's have some fun. They were supposed to have some live music, which they did. It was very good. A lot of oldies, but the band was phenomenal. It was
Where'd you go?
fantastic.
We went to a restaurant, yeah, up in Algonquin.
Fantastic. They had great
there
food. Thank you,
forever.
Port Edwards.
Yeah,
Port
no,
Edwards.
The food was great. The service was
Yeah, we
great.
had
It really
buffet.
was.
So they had a bunch of seafood, steaks that they made in front
Yeah.
of you.
Desserts.
Yeah, a big dessert
It's an
buffet.
Algonquin?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
It was absolutely
It was
fantastic.
fantastic.
I don't
But tell me this: who would have thought? They were like, "This is going to be fantastic. We're going to go out." They had dancing if you wanted to dance, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But imagine having dinner with your grandparents and 100 of their friends, and then having one group of I'm going to call us younger because we were with
Sure,
the people
yeah.
that were there. There was hundreds of couples there, and besides us, nobody was under the age of 60 years old. So we're sitting there, we're eating, and we're waiting in line, and we're like, what did we do? Where are we?
You're like-
we're hoping to go for some like live music, and people are talking and doing their thing, and it was
Yeah, right?
slow dancing, and just a bunch of just old people.
Yeah, you're thinking people
Yeah.
watching, maybe talk to some people that are, peers, or,
Yes.
similar age bracket or whatever, and
You couldn't.
it was not bad.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, well,
But we did. We had a great time. We ended up going to dinner. We all ate. The buffet. The food was fantastic. The restaurant was amazing. It was.
Oh,
It's
wow,
buffet-
it was
it's buffet,
absolutely
or
Well,
it's-
for Valentine's Day, it was a buffet. So
Oh,
they
for
had
Valentine's Day.
I mean, like
Okay.
they had beef Wellington. They had lobster tails. I mean,
Okay.
something like a buffet I've never been to. So
Yeah, it was great. The
Yeah,
food
we
was
talked
great.
about
Like I
it.
said, the service was great. We were by far the youngest
Yeah.
people I think that have ever eaten in that restaurant outside of a child.
oh my god.
I mean, when you get, you get in line for a buffet, and
Yes.
everybody's, I'm sure, has been to a buffet at some point, so you wait a minute or two.
Yeah.
No, man, I mean, you have to help them, the plates, and
Yeah,
you're
because
helping,
it's-
and you're escorting folks back to,
Yes.
their seats, and it was a thing, and but I will tell you this: the dance floor was hot.
It was-
dance
it was
floor
full.
was hot.
Are you joking?
No,
at all
I
times
mean,
it was
it was
full.
unbelievable.
People were dancing?
Well,
there had to be 5, 6, 7 couples at the
you
minimum.
could-
At the minimum,
most of
at all
it
times.
was
Yeah.
most of it was a version of dancing. A lot of it, I think, was just
Break dancing?
no. I think they were just
Yeah.
standing there, and I think their bodies just made involuntary movements.
Yes.
But let me tell you,
You know?
everybody had a good time.
Oh,
Like,
it was
the restaurant
great.
was
Everybody
really
was
good.
wonderful.
It was very cool. They had this big pond, like in there with an actual like sailboat. You could eat in a sailboat, like if you got reservations. But
That's cool.
the amount of koi fish they had in there was,
Yeah, it was
unbelievable. You could feed them. People were feeding them. It was a very cool experience. Very cool experience.
I don't think
That
I've
was
been
awesome.
there since. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Probably
I
since
gotta
before.
say hi to somebody. I gotta stop.
Please,
you.
please,
Tom. Hi, Tom.
Tom.
Tom Bukowski.
Tom. Hey, Tom. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate that.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, Tom.
It's good to see you, buddy.
Absolutely.
So yes, go ahead, Braden. Take it over. What do you got for me? What's something in your life recently that was just like, how in the hell did I get myself into this situation?
I would probably have to say the fort.
The
Fort.
The
Fort.
stabbing cabin.
The fort has
What a
had
story.
AKA
yes.
the stabbing cabin.
And I wouldn't even call it a fort.
The fort has
I would-
had several things.
But so you call it a fort,
I don't
but
know,
when
sorry.
if people actually saw this or knew
It
like
was
how
awesome.
this was built better than some people's houses.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
All right, so
that was
take
the
it,
end of
so give everybody a brief background. So the fort.
So I'll just say this. So, during COVID, there was nothing else to do. We all remember that time, probably, sitting at home doing nothing. So,
Yes.
these kids were being kids, and they had found all these woods to go out and just explore, right?
Sure.
The kids were younger at that time. They're
Sure.
probably 10, 12, 13, whatever they were. And they were out there just being kids and stuff. And I'll be honest, I was bored too.
Oh, of course,
I'm
it's
a
COVID.
big,
What
I'm a
are
big
you gonna
kid,
do?
right? So they're out there playing in the woods, and it's like, I'm trying to spend time with the kids, whatever. So
Yeah.
they're out there. I go out there too. And So anyway, we ended up just clearing a bunch of space and making like trails for kids to ride their dirt bikes or their bikes or
Absolutely.
just walk, do whatever else. And then
Still getting them out.
And it was a cool
Go
place.
out.
You didn't even
Yeah.
have to have a motor. Right?
You didn't have to.
We used to walk the
Go there.
dogs through there. We
Sure.
would just walk through.
Yeah,
It was
people
really
take
nice
their
place.
dogs. You can go
Yeah.
for a jog out there. It was really fun.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
So people say COVID time, right?
Yes,
People
it's
said,
COVID time.
It was the worst time. It was a bad time, but the
Yes.
closer people got, me and Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have dinner. Cody, our brother Cody, was there.
Yep. Dude,
Ron would
go
make
there.
dinner on Sundays. And
That's awesome.
we would head over to the house and we'd have dinner because you couldn't go out to dinner.
Yeah.
Right.
You could order, but I mean, just being there, having people with you, being able to talk and do things.
Oh, for sure.
The
We
things that
definitely
did,
learned to
yeah.
cook really
Yeah.
well during
Yes,
COVID.
yes.
I'll tell you, we experimented with different desserts
It was
and
good for
baking
that,
and food.
to
It
come up
was
with hobbies,
fantastic.
and you started-
You couldn't go to a restaurant.
Yep.
You couldn't go to restaurants.
And what was so everybody tells you, okay, so you get COVID and now everything's going to go badly. Well, then you can
Yeah.
order food. Well, who's going to deliver the food?
Exactly.
The same people that were going to
It's-
make it at the restaurant or serve it to you at the restaurant.
Yes.
Sure.
Because the restaurants are closed.
Sure.
Yep.
So we're
What's the
like,
difference?
okay, let's just go get
Yeah.
our own food and make it.
Yep.
It was a
So it was
miracle
cool.
the restaurants even stayed open.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it
that
was.
was a hard
Absolutely.
time.
So you guys started building. So you
restaurants.
guys cleared this area in the woods, right? So
Yeah, so we had all
we're
these
having a
walking
good time.
trails. We built some fire pits, which, again, as the kids grew older, those turned into being used for other things,
Sure,
right? As
sure.
high schoolers would do.
Teenagers.
But again, all of it
Teenagers.
was very innocent stuff that we all did too.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
absolutely.
But all of it was good fun. Anyway, long and short of it is, so July
Oh, my
of
delicious
last year.
Tom.
So one of my hobbies was that I would go out there and I would keep the trails clear. Like I'd go out there
Okay.
and mow them. So my son as well.
Yeah.
We'd go out there, we'd mow the trails,
Sure,
and we'd
sure.
do all the weed whacking and everything like that, and clear everything, all the hedges and stuff, and keep it up so people could use it. And for some reason, in late July of last year, I decided to go and I decided that this one tree branch was driving me crazy.
Okay.
Okay, so big, huge tree branch was probably like 70 feet long, kind of came down on a
Jeez,
45-degree angle. And it was just in my way. So I decided, again, in my infinite wisdom, sometimes I make bad decisions. I decided,
We only make normally bad decisions.
Yes.
Best stories.
Absolutely.
this was a
Yes,
really
yes.
bad one.
Yeah, usually it's, hey,
Yeah.
hold my beer is worth good things happen.
Yes. So this was not I'm going to burn my house down bad, but this was a close second. I decided that I wanted to clear this branch and kind of knock it down. And my son's like, Dad, why? Who cares? Just
Yeah.
let it be. I'm like, it was really bothering me. I needed this branch down.
Okay.
So we decided to jump up, and it was high. Jump up, grab it, and he had to jump on too, right? So now we got a couple guys, and we're
Sure.
we're jumping on this thing, right? Well, hoping to break it. Well, it did break. It wasn't the only thing that broke. So as we're bouncing on this thing, on the way up, it snapped, and I came down, wham, snapped my patella tendon, and the tree fell on me.
Jeez.
It was a ba-boom. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, dude.
Now, mind
I'm
you
like, I
guys,
just
this is
broke
in
my
the
leg.
middle of the woods, probably a good, I don't
Yeah.
know, 80 to 100 yards or so from the road.
Yeah.
So it's not like super deep, but you're about 300 feet from the road.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I knew right away. I'm like, this is bad. And I tried to stand up. My son tried to help me up, and as soon as I put any weight, just collapsed right down. I'm like, yeah, it's broken. Something's broken. So long and short of it is, I had to push myself out of the woods, a couple hundred yards out of the woods.
Sure,
'Cause
sure.
my son's like, should I call the paramedics? And I'm like, I am not having the whole neighborhood watching
Yeah.
me coming out of these damn woods.
Rolled out of a
On a gurney.
Yeah, right.
It's already embarrassing enough. I feel like an idiot. My wife's screaming. Can't believe what I just did. She's like, "You idiot! What did you just do?"
And as always, she's
Yes.
right.
She was right. She was
right.
100% right.
Yep, they're
She's
always
like, "Why
right.
did I marry Clark Griswold?" She's like, "What's wrong with this guy?" So they got me out of the woods. I'm sorry. I got myself out of the woods. I had to push myself out. We went to the ER. Anyway, long and short, it was I snapped my patella tendon in half. It was awful. It was a brutal surgery and recovery for 6 months.
I remember.
So that was step one of this story. The second phase of this, which leads to the fort and this where Ron comes in, is for some reason we decided, again, just being bored, that we would go build a structure out in the fort. It's called the fort, but there was never
We are
anything physical
appreciative,
there.
Matt, that the woods didn't burn down.
The woods did not burn down, even though, believe me, we had a few fires back there that probably could have.
They used to carry 5-gallon buckets of water out of your
Yeah.
son's truck
Oh, absolutely.
into the woods to put these fire pits out.
Yes.
Gotta
yes.
be safe. Gotta be
That's
safe.
for sure. And believe me, it got kind of famous back there, where they decided to have like some, bonfire,
Sure.
get-togethers and whatever else, but
Absolutely.
it ended up growing to be too much. And
Yes.
let's just say that Wakanda and some of the surrounding community enforcement
Yeah.
figured it out pretty quick, so that area was known. But we decided to build this structure, which again I was thinking just a little lean-to somewhere to like kids to hang
Yeah,
out. You know, when the younger kids go out there, they can play house, do whatever.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Again, it was supposed to just be
It'd
innocent.
be a
just
cool
have fun.
ghost in the
Something for
graveyard
everybody.
kind of
Yeah,
place.
Something
exactly.
for everybody.
Right. Yeah,
Sure.
just something to goof around, playing hide and seek, whatever the kids go out there. So I asked my brother to help, my older brother, who's a carpenter. So when you get a carpenter involved, they're not just gonna, I'm gonna just throw
Right,
something together.
right.
He decides to build the Taj Mahal out there.
Oh, he did. I will tell you this: if I ever have
Oh my
anything
God.
built, I'm calling your brother because
Yes.
I have never seen a non-permanent structure built as a permanent structure in my life.
Yes. It was unbelievable. I mean, this thing could have withstood a F5
Oh
tornado.
yeah, no. If there was a tornado coming, I was
unbelievable.
going to there.
Going-
and it was
yes.
literally built on a foundation of pallets. And
Right,
it was
yeah,
stronger than most houses. It was unreal.
Well, so here's the thing. This was supposed to be a free thing, right? So
Right,
my
right.
son was like, "Hey, Dad, what if we do this?" I'm like, "All right, cool." You know, I was all on board. I figured it'd be a hobby he and I could do, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
And a couple of his buddies. But I'm like, let's do it for free. Because you go on Facebook Marketplace, you can find people giving away plywood and lumber and stuff all
absolutely.
the time.
Sure,
And it's just odds and ends.
And it's
pieces.
going in the woods. Doesn't
It's
have to
going
be
in the woods.
perfect. Doesn't have to look great. It's
Right.
Just
So again,
something to
mind you, I'm still in a cast or a brace from my hip down to my ankle from breaking my leg out in the fort. And so this whole time I'm out there, I shouldn't have been out there at all, but I'm still out there dragging all this wood back there
I remember.
to make this thing. So again, we started with the pallets, which were free. You know, we found those on Facebook. We had a nice
Right.
floor of pallets. Well, this turned into my brother giving me a laundry list of, okay, you need to go to Home Depot
He
and
literally
spend
gave
$2,000
Yeah,
worth
he
of
gave you
lumber.
an actual structural material list.
Everything.
Like you're building a
Like
house.
you're
It was
building-
unbelievable.
Can I get one
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we are.
Thank
We
you.
have portable generators. We have everything. we spent about I'm going to say about a month or so out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
For every Saturday and Sunday, sun up to sundown.
Right.
Which again, my brother, I'll give him credit to this. Just
yeah.
to be nice and just trying to help out his nephew and whatever. We built this giant structure within one day. The neighbors called. One day. The neighbors called. Police came out there. The mayor came out there.
He
Holy
did.
cow.
No, the mayor, the
It was
building
all over the
department,
place.
the
Yep.
village trucks, the big internationals were
Yeah.
out there. It turned into a Facebook group.
Jeez.
It turned into
Oh,
It
yeah.
turned into like a whole thing.
Huge thing. And again, this was after spending probably well into at least $1,000 worth of
yes.
lumber,
See,
all the stuff, all the time, all this stuff.
Yes.
Building it
Yeah.
again on one leg in like 100-degree heat, mosquitoes, bugs. It was the worst conditions ever. And one day later, they came out there. They came to the house and they said, "This needs to be down by the
It's-
weekend."
Yeah, it was like the weekend,
Yeah.
and if you don't, we're fining you.
You're fining
Oh, no. Then
tickets,
on Monday, we're
uh,
sending the city out to take it down, and then
Yeah.
you're going to get charged whatever we decide it costs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Do you think they did this because you didn't invite them to like the grand opening of it?
Maybe.
Think about it. Yeah, we got
That's a good point.
we got chips and beer. If you guys want to come, we're
maybe
gonna find you.
yeah,
That would have been
they were
great.
married.
Maybe
invite
if
them.
it was more inclusive.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe it felt like you were just building it for everyone but them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, politicians are selfish, right? So, like
Yes.
the mayor, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but
Right.
maybe he's like, well, nobody called me for a barbecue
Right.
at a late night fire pit with some Michelob Ultra Peach.
Right.
I want that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Maybe that was why he was just mad he didn't get
So
invited.
Braden gives me a call and he tells me, he's like, hey man, this is what's going on. And I started laughing. I'm like, okay, so what do they want us to do here? He says, we got to get it out of here by the weekend. This is like fucking Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is no problem. So he's like, what are you doing Saturday morning? I'm like, nothing. He said, it shouldn't take, this is Braden now. And I haven't seen
You
the
should have
fort.
said you had plans.
I should I never saw the fort when him and his brother were building it.
Sure,
I didn't
sure.
see it at that point.
Right.
She says, there's not much out there, some lumber. I think we can just cut it down, drag it to the road, or throw it in the truck, and then, I'll dispose of it later.
Sure. Sure.
So that day was, what was it? It was homecoming? No, it was home. I think it was
Yeah, there was
homecoming.
some-
So my
think it
son
was,
had a
you're right.
dance, and it was at like 2 o'clock. They started getting them ready and pictures and all that stuff. So I'm like, we'll come over at 9 a.m. We'll be done by Brighton. Oh, at 10 o'clock, 10:30, no problem.
It's nothing. It'd be nice.
So
to-
we show up, we go out there. This thing's built like a fucking $1 million fucking mansion.
Yeah.
Double king studs, double jack studs. I mean, it's fucking framed out perfectly. I looked at Braden and I said, I have a cordless Sawzall and a hammer. What the fuck are we going to do with this?
Yeah, we're gonna be here a while.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were, and we were sweating and getting bit by mosquitoes, and we're dragging all this shit through the
It was
woods to the
terrible.
road, and
Oh my gosh.
It was absolutely awful.
It
I mean,
was
it was one of
terrible.
the worst experiences of my life.
yeah, it was rough.
The wall, trying to get the walls out of there.
Oh,
These were, 10. What was it? 10.
I think they were 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
These are probably a couple, 1,000 pounds
Sure,
of
sure.
walls. And yeah, we
Dude,
had to try to get
Cody's
it done.
on, Rich. Hey, Cody, how are you, buddy?
Cody, how are
What's
you,
up,
man?
buddy?
Thanks for joining us.
Let me tell you how happy my brother was when I had to call him and tell him that it was coming down. He was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, and
I'm
he
like,
literally built it to withstand a lifetime of use.
Sure.
"Oh, absolutely! Like this would have been there for
Unbelievable.
generations." Yeah, it was like his lasting legacy.
And only if the city could just see you were only doing it to just make the kids happy.
That was it. And
Have
I
a
told
place
him, I
to
said,
hang out
"Guys,
and
right."
we know where you're at.
Well, here's the thing.
Yes,
the way
and-
that they looked at it was that Braden tried to build a home on land he didn't own for children who are unsupervised, and there's no running water, no electric,
Sure,
and no nothing
sure.
in the middle of the woods where
Sure.
who knows what would have ever happened.
Absolutely.
And to make things even better, if you walked out of the woods about 30 yards to the south,
Okay.
it's the fire department.
But it was
Oh,
safe
yeah,
then.
it's right there.
So
Why
we
not?
figured if
They get there
something went
quick.
wrong, they could
Yeah.
just walk out the back door. They don't even need the truck. The hose is
Absolutely.
longer than the walk.
It'll make it.
Right.
But they didn't see it that way.
All right. Well,
This thing
Unfortunately,
had
they did not see it that way.
This thing had a front porch where you could set like your rocking chairs on. I mean, it was literally a house.
unreal.
It was a freaking
It was
house.
fantastic. I
was
will
awesome.
tell you. You have a very, very talented older brother, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, he'll be happy to know that. He was not happy that it all had to come crashing down in one day.
What's up, Gavin?
We were able to sell a lot of the stuff,
That's good.
which
Good,
was
good.
good. We dragged it all out of there,
Right.
brought it back home. We were able to sell a decent amount of it. Yeah, it was all. Now,
I
did I
guess,
get my money back? Hell no.
I'm
It was a
sure.
memory. It was a memory, right? I mean,
You know what, man? Memories are the most important thing. Money
Yes.
doesn't matter. The memories and these types of stories are the best things that we have.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Not to be like sentimental on a fucking cold Saturday, but shut up, Rich. But it is. Memories are
Yeah.
fun, and doing stupid shit like that is fun.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Right.
if we get a new mayor at some point, maybe we try it fucking again.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I reached out to the village and I said, "Hey, listen, okay, you got me, right? I'm guilty. I probably shouldn't have built the house out there.
Sure.
I get it. It's totally fine because they banned everybody. They said, that's it. This is off limits." And we said, okay, let's let the dust settle. Let's let winter happen. Come
Right,
spring
right.
again. I'm hoping that they'll kind of cooler heads will prevail.
Sure,
They'll say,
sure.
listen, you guys can use the trails still. Just
Yeah.
don't build a freaking house out there. Right? I was bummed though, man. Like I planted pumpkins out there last year. It was great. I had
they
a whole
grow?
pumpkin patch. I was awesome.
All right.
Well, I didn't know. I never planted pumpkins. I'm not what you would call a farmer.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
At all. I know
Sure.
nothing about
Sure,
it. Zero.
sure.
And I decided I'm gonna plant pumpkins. I'm gonna use this area, and I planted some stuff. I ended up growing about enough pumpkins to feed the entire armed forces. I mean, there was millions of them out there. Those things spread like you wouldn't believe.
We tried that in our yard once. It went
Yeah.
terrible.
I
Absolutely
bet.
terrible.
Wasn't
It took
that-
over
they grow
everything.
like crazy, right?
Last year, what
Yes.
did you grow? You grew watermelons.
Yeah, that
But
didn't go well. They-
So
Oh,
Ron,
did they grow?
No, the fucking chickens ate them.
hold
Ah,
on.
well,
Yeah, we just had one
okay.
plant. So Ron decided. He said, "These are watermelons. These are my cucumbers." At one point, they started to mix.
No.
And he says, "I'm not sure what's going to happen. I might have sweet cucumbers. I might have a watermelon that tastes like a cucumber. I don't know."
They
Yeah.
were literally interplant species breeding themselves.
Yes.
I had nothing to do with it.
That
And
is
then the
hilarious.
chickens got loose one day and they broke the goddamn fence. And they ate
Oh
all of
my
the
God.
fucking watermelons. All of them. Because they were starting,
Are you
they
serious?
grow like baseball. They
Oh,
start
yeah.
to grow.
Yeah.
They like
Yep.
those?
They fucking love them, dude. They
All
eat
of it.
all of
All
them.
of it.
Yeah. Or the ducks too.
The ducks
Are they-
the chickens peck through everything. The ducks just like to eat shit, but they don't
Okay.
destroy things.
Yeah.
The chickens are absolute assholes, and they will fucking eat everything you put in front of them.
Wow. I wouldn't
You'll
have
buy
thought-
something,
Our-
and they'll ruin it, and then
yeah.
leave it just to say that they ruined
Listen,
it.
when
I
I'm
don't need it.
when
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
grilling, sometimes things will fall. You flip a burger, a little piece of meat fall.
Yeah.
My one chicken nugget, our chicken nugget, will eat the fucking meat. Doesn't care.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, Nugget's a lunatic.
Yeah, it eats chicken.
She'll eat
Wow,
anything.
the
She'll
chickens
eat
will eat
chicken.
chicken?
Yeah, that dog.
Cannibals, man.
Yep.
Jeez.
And you're like, no, my God,
What the
something.
heck?
They don't care. Chickens are lunatics, dude.
I can't say that my chickens have ever eaten
You have
chicken.
chickens, too.
I do. I have chickens and ducks.
Yeah, but his chickens look like they lift weights. His chickens
They're
are
big.
fucking like this.
they're big.
What do you do with all the eggs?
They're big. We eat them. I give them away.
Nice.
I don't like
I
the
think
way
we've
it's
I
given
heard
done.
they're
you
really
guys
good for
some.
Yeah, we've had some. Yeah.
The duck eggs
Sure,
are really good.
Yeah.
Are they?
The duck eggs are fantastic.
I never had it.
A lot
I don't
of
think I've ever had
very
it.
high
rich.
in protein,
Yeah.
man, and they're very big compared to chicken eggs. They're really good.
Eggs are really good for you,
But
right?
the ducks are complete assholes. They bite. They fucking. Oh my god.
I don't
They
think I've
stink.
ever laughed this hard.
They do stink.
Now,
The
And I
ducks
don't-
stink. I hate the fucking ducks. I'll get 10 more chickens before I ever buy another duck.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Chickens are easy. They're clean. They take care of themselves. They listen. At night, they put themselves away. They're ready for bed. You don't have to do anything but keep them clean.
Yeah, the ducks
keep
you have
them
to
fed.
chase
What are the
around the
ducks?
yard to catch them.
Yeah, the ducks will fucking chase you, then you chase them, and then the dog chases.
Oh,
It's a
my
fucking
God.
thing.
Yep.
And-
I
It
can't
is.
believe the dogs don't catch the ducks. And
Okay, so the Diesel doesn't have anything to do with it.
That's amazing. What
The
about
ducks
pancakes?
love Diesel.
Yeah.
He'll walk around the yard. They will walk with him. Pancakes
Yeah.
hates everything that moves and will chase them down, pin them down, and grab them like a toy. So if you're not paying attention, you'll lose a bird. So we always have to be real cautious with him.
It's
I mean,
always
he's
with,
also a puppy. still,
Sophie and
but-
Stevie, they can give a shit about
Yeah.
it.
Stevie doesn't mess with them?
Nope. She'll walk around with them and hang out. And,
Yeah.
And you have another. Oh, you said the
yeah, so
Yorkie.
she's a York. Yeah, she doesn't.
Yeah, ducks
She's
are
not
probably
doing
bigger
much.
than.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, Stevie,
Wow.
she just kind of hangs out. in
Cody
the-
Pancakes has
Like
tried
they're
to
not even
destroy ducks more than I could possibly imagine. I have broken up more duck fights between him and that dog. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Has Pancakes been on the show yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
He's a lunatic, man.
He'd be a good guest.
He's a lunatic. Pancakes is a little nutty, man.
It is.
He does do the Humpty Bumpty on the ducks, Cody. He also tries to do it on you. The only difference is the ducks cry about it and you don't. So
That's the
we
truth. He
know
welcomes
this.
it. He
We know
welcomes
this.
it. Cody, you welcome it, man. Nothing wrong with it.
Oh, just
I mean, there is, but
Tom, I've got 4 chickens and 2 ducks and 2 dogs and a turtle.
You got turtle too.
I do.
Yeah. Where's that up in?
It's up in the loft. He's got a big ass tank. His name is Mikey. Mikey hates people though. Mikey hates everything.
Yeah?
He'll try to bite through the glass at your finger.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's now gotten to the point where after we've had him, Tony's 16. So we've had him for 13 years.
Yeah.
And it's taken him 13 years. He now figured out how to climb out of the tank and he disappears.
No.
Yeah, like we'll go in there
How does
like
he get out of the?
we don't know, but the last time we found him behind the fucking dryer.
Huh.
Yeah, he's a mess.
Let me say, though, it's
I
been-
lived in a fucking circus.
it's been
and a
13
zoo.
years.
Yeah, you do.
It's been 13 years,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that turtle's the same size as it was 13 years ago.
Really?
Dude, I wish I could be
I wonder if
back
they
then.
stay the
I
same
wonder
as
what
the
these
size of
fucking
their
animals
tanks,
think.
or are they like goldfish?
I
that go
wonder.
into-
They have a
go
big
into-
tank for him.
Yeah,
They do.
so
He's
at
a-
one
it's a
point,
big
so
tank.
we found Mikey by accident. So it was Tony's 3-year-old, right, Cassie, 3-year-old, preschool graduation.
Okay.
You know, so we get home in the driveway,
Yeah.
and we were getting out of the car, and by dumb luck, we see something moving. It's the size of about a half $1, and we're like, holy shit, you know, it's a turtle. Well,
Yeah.
Tony liked it, and Ninja Turtles were a thing. You know, he's 3.
Sure, yeah.
So he named it Mikey because at 3 years old, he couldn't say Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. Oh.
So we
I
got him this
it.
little
Okay.
thing, and we
Yep.
thought
Nice.
this would be a cool little pet for him. It was a little painter turtle, nothing crazy. So like I said,
Yeah.
it was very small. He grew to be about, I'd say about this, I don't know, 6 inches wide, 6 or 8 inches around. He's not super big.
Okay.
They only grow as big as their surroundings. So his tank's, I think, 80 gallons.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so he's got an 80-gallon tank, but he won't get any bigger than he is now.
Okay.
So then we thought, holy shit, he's all by himself, right? He needs a friend. So we go out and we get him another turtle friend.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't like the other turtle friend at all. At all. He tries to drown the fucking turtle. It's
No.
unbelievable. So then we buy him goldfish to distract him. And that prick used to bite the tails off the goldfish so that they couldn't swim anymore, but they weren't dead. The turtle's fucking psychotic.
Hear me out.
Oh my
Then he
God.
killed the other turtle.
Why
The
don't you
turtle's a
try this?
fucking
He got the
lunatic.
Michael Myers of turtles.
Dude,
What-
I'm telling you, he's a serial killer.
Try this. Try this. Dress up as a Ninja Turtle run. Okay. Dress up
Okay.
as and then go pick him up. Maybe he'll feel more welcome.
He
Like you
won't.
actually care about him.
He won't. One day we were cleaning his tank, so we put him in our loft, and he chased our. At the time, Diesel was much bigger. I think he was about 120 pounds.
Yeah.
So he was much bigger than
Sure,
now.
sure.
Yeah, he chased that fucking dog around the house. That turtle flew himself down the stairs in his
Oh
shell.
my God, I love
And when he
it.
hit the
It's
bottom,
so
popped
funny.
out and continued to chase him.
Unreal.
The turtle is an actual serial
Unreal.
killer.
Oh my God.
Like for sure. For sure.
Yep.
Cody, I'll never snuggle you or a turtle.
I'm gonna take a quick.
All right, we'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. We're gonna take a quick 5, and then we'll be back. Don't leave. We got some more fun stuff to talk about.
Tell
We're
your
back in
friends.
5.
Tell your friends. We'll be back.
We'll be back in 5, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Jess.
Stop. You're not voting.
Are we off?
I think we're kicking ass.
We good?